Building your physique will not heal all of the trauma inside of you. If you're somebody like me and you've been training all of your life, there becomes a time, right, where the training is just not enough. Initially, when you start in the gym and you just love to train and you're in there for 2, 3 hours, it gets out that energy. It allows you to feel okay with yourself. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But eventually you get to a point where you need more. And I got to this point really this past summertime, but a year and a half ago, I was starting to have this internal feeling that training was just not enough, that I needed something that was missing inside. And on this channel, I talk about fitness and mindset and quitting vices. I stopped smoking weed this past summer. I had actually done this the summer before for 3 months, and I had gone back to my vice. And the reason I did this was because I had this very strong internal feeling to quit. I knew I had to quit because I knew that I was covering something. There was something inside of me that I was covering. I would wake up every single day and I could not smoke weed. And I had a very big issue with this. In my early 20s, I just didn't care. So I didn't have an issue with it. But it was one of these things where it was just this strong, just calling. It was just telling me to stop like doing this, to be sober. You don't need to smoke. And it took me all the way up until this past summertime to quit officially. I have not smoked since this past summer, and I never plan to again. And as I've talked about in this channel, when I stopped, all of my bad feelings, all of my trauma rose to the surface level, and I started to feel everything. And my thoughts became so much clearer. And I covered up a lot of these dark feelings with training, with weed, building up my physique, going into the gym, going 2 hours, just training like a maniac. And again, I got to a point where it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And I really wanted to discover what was deep inside that I was holding back, that I was hiding. And when I stopped smoking, it became a lot easier to internalize my feelings and see that, I used to have this disassociative personality where I would smoke and I would kind of just be away from people because it was easy for me. And I really did not like that. I did not like being in a sedated state and not being present with people. But why is that? Why would I want to disassociate myself with people? Comes back to my childhood where it was just difficult to relate to a lot of people. And again, I'm not coming on here to victimize myself. This is just my life experience. I'm not victimizing. I don't feel bad for myself, but this is truly how I felt growing up. I could always fit into a lot of different pockets of people, but it never felt like I was truly part of any group. I did swim team, basketball, track, choir. I mean, I was in a lot of different groups and I could always assimilate. And it was fine, but I never truly felt a part of a group, part of a people. And this is where that dissociative behavior came from, where I was like, shit, well, if I don't feel like I'm connected to anybody, what's the point of being present? Then I started training when I was 18. Just started going back to the gym after quitting basketball when I was 16. Training 5-6 days a week, 2-hour sessions. And I became obsessed with training. Again, years later, it worked for a while. And years later, I got to a point where I was like, what are you covering up? Why do you train so hard? Why are you not okay when you don't train? Because there's a lot of people who are very happy and they don't work out or train. Do you guys notice that? Like, there's a lot of people who are actually fine and don't train at all. It's actually people who train super hard and are always in the gym. They got a lot of issues. And again, I'm not coming for people that train or do what you have to do that works for you and that helps you. And it's a great thing that we have gyms, because a lot of these people that go to these gyms, they really need that. They need that exertion. They have a lot of energy. I was somebody who had a lot of energy since birth, so being able to train is a necessity for me. If I wasn't in the gym, I would be freaking running miles and miles a day, or anything I could do to exert a lot of energy. But you'll get to a point too where that's just not enough. And you have to look deep down within yourself and ask yourself, why are you doing all this? What are you running from? Disassociating from people, not feeling like you're a part of something, always feeling like you have to grind, you always have to push really hard, and a lot of this just comes from not feeling like you're enough, honestly. And that's fine, because this world is competitive, and I'm very thankful that I have the energy inside of me and the will to push against anything. It's not a bad thing, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But again, you can only push so much, and you can only dig yourself so deep. I'll never stop pushing, and I'll never stop grinding, because I genuinely love it. I love pushing myself in every single aspect. But at the same time, I have to realize that it's okay sometimes to not only rest, but to give myself some space to be and just to think. Even though I'm pushing, like right now I'm doing the YouTube 6 videos a week, working out 5 days a week. Weekends I'm doing cardio, building the business outside of here, working a full-time job. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm doing constantly, and I love it, and I wouldn't change it. But sometimes you still have to sit back and you have to internalize how you're feeling. And I'm somebody, I don't really care how I feel, but it's important that I need to, because there's ways I've acted in my past that has had a lot of negative consequences. It's easy to say you don't care about how you feel and you don't care how others perceive you, but to be honest, I need other people to perceive me in a good manner. Need to be somebody that is trusted. Need to be somebody that is reliable. And that's something that building your physique will not do. We're talking about morals. We're talking about your integrity. We're talking about things that training just will not do for you. Yeah, it'll help you, work on your discipline and build your body up, but that's not going to heal everything. That's not going to heal the actual trauma inside of yourself. Right now, again, I'm on my journey of no alcohol the whole year. I stopped smoking weed this past summertime, and I'm just in a completely different space in my life, because I needed to feel everything. I needed to understand that you have these issues, you need to feel them, and you need to process them and give yourself time to process them. Give yourself time, reach out to people that you trust, that I know have my back, that love me, and that I can actually speak to. But yeah, just going in the gym, training hours and hours a day, it's not going to fix that. And if you're somebody like me where you truly want to just get better in every single aspect, I think that it's important that you understand what I'm speaking about. It's a deep topic. But I wanted to get on here today because this is what my life is about. The training and the fitness and the mindset and pushing yourself. It's always going to be part of me, and I love it. That's why I do it. But it's always important to understand that there's a lot of things that are so much bigger in life, and that will actually help you in the long run. So I just wanted to drop this video, give my thoughts on how your physique and just training will not fix all of your trauma, but it can help in the short term. But long term, you need to get the help that you need. Therapist, close friends, close family that you love, that you trust, and just taking the time within yourself to process what you've been through and why you act the way that you do. This is John with the Only. I'm sending blessings always. Peace.